The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to RAP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts,
Kim Purvis
and Allison Robinson. Make sure to check us out on our Facebook pages, RAP Paranormal and Friends and RAP Paranormal Busters, for up-to-date show information and events. Hey everyone, welcome to another night of RAP Paranormal and Friends. Kim is out sick tonight, so I am going to be flying solo. But we are bringing back a returning guest. We have Killen back on tonight. If you guys don't remember, he was on and talked about his book, Ghosts and Me. But Kevin has also had a lot of paranormal experiences throughout his whole life. He's a native Virginian that had paranormal experiences as early as his childhood in his home in Falls Church. Kevin is also a multi-award winning former journalist and now works with developmentally disabled individuals, and in the past worked with recovering addicts. He now resides on the eastern shore of Maryland, where he continues to write and experiences about the paranormal. So tonight we welcome him back. Kevin, so welcome.
Thank you, Allison, for having me. It's good to be back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I think it's actually been 3 years.
I
was on live.
I'm pretty sure it has been. Yeah, you've been on a couple times, and it seems like every time you come on, we have some kind of weird thing that happens, either something with the video or the sound or something.
Yeah, I think last time actually at the end, the setup was different, and there was something that went behind both of you guys. It was something white.
Oh, yes.
That went behind you guys in the background, and Kim had said that she had actually felt something.
Yes. Yeah, and that was at her house, and so now we have kind of swapped and now doing it at my house. So, but yeah, so let's kind of do a recap for some of our new listeners. If you can kind of tell us how this all came about with your paranormal experiences. Like, what was your first experience?
Sure, absolutely. My first experience was when I was about 5 years old. I was living in Evanston, Illinois, and the rest of my family had gone out somewhere. I think they went to St. Louis for a game. My father was a journalist, and he took my brothers with him. So it was just me and my mother. Mm-hmm. And I remember we had these, wooden floors in this big old. We had this big old house that was turn of the century. It just looked, it looked haunted.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I had heard footsteps when we were downstairs eating, and I turned to my mother and I said, "Who's that?" Mm-hmm. And she was scared because she thought somebody broke in, and she said, "Oh, that's my little boy." So I was like, "Well, I'm the only little boy in this house, so who's upstairs walking around?" So that was my first experience, but I distinctly remember it was definite footsteps on a wooden floor, a creaky wooden floor.
which is intriguing. Now, in your book, Ghosts and Me, kind of a recap for some of our new listeners, you kind of talk about your journey in your life and how you've had all these paranormal experiences in all these different places that you have lived. Why do you think spirits are attracted to you?
I think I have one of those personalities that kind of attracts people, and I think really honestly, if you look at my background, after the journalism part, I've actually been with substance abuse, and now I work with developmentally disabled individuals, and you have to have a certain kind of personality to work with all of those groups, and I do have it. As a matter of fact, one of my bosses said the other day, I have that get along with anyone personality, and I think that kind of works. So it basically, I think that, and I'm almost 100% Irish, so.
Are you there? Hello? Oh, here we go. I jinxed it.
Passed down in my family somewhat.
You cut out there, so I didn't hear any of that. I was like, oh no, I jinxed it with the sound thing. I heard Irish and then you were gone.
I got it. Did you hear the stuff before that?
I heard the stuff before that, but when you got to Irish, you just completely were gone.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw that. And I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, and it was actually funny because right before that happened, I actually heard some sort of noise in the corner of my room. So wow, I don't know. Crazy. And yeah, they like to participate, and I kind of let them. But I was saying, I'm almost 100% Irish, so I think that my Celtic background is one of the main reasons that I do attract spirits. And also, I think it was passed down generationally in my family. Unfortunately, that was never verified, and I wish I was able to talk more with my family members about that, because I do believe some of them actually did have something. They just, they kind of suppressed it because it was, back in the day when you couldn't, come out and say you saw ghosts or heard things because it was just frowned upon.
I agree with you that, this can be passed down, because it seems like in my family, there's a history of it too. Especially on my mother's side. They were all kind of aware of those things. My grandpa was always asking me if I was going out looking. He called them spooks. He's like, are you going out looking for spooks? He would give me articles. Here's a new place you could go check out or whatever. But also my cousin is a spirit magnet. And she's kind of like you. Everywhere she moves, she has some kind of spirit that is there with her. And I don't know what it is. It's just something on my mother's side. So I can agree with you. I think that sometimes, generations can have something, some kind of ability that they pass down or something to that effect.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think with mine, it was on my mother's side as well.
Weird. That's crazy. Now, have you ever had a negative attachment?
Yes. When I was in school, college, I was just finishing up my junior year of college, and I was actually at the time, and I go into this in the book, I was dating a witch.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and so we had a seance with some friends of ours that really didn't believe in the paranormal, and something came through that session, and it wasn't good, and it attached itself to me, and my personality totally changed. Now, if you watch a lot of these ghost shows and everything, and some of them talk about the demonic part of like the possession part, and I don't usually ever use that, but if I had to, I was at the oppression stage, and I knew something was off, and it was just I was just in a miserable place, and they started having weird things happen to them. The one girl's boyfriend wrecked his bike. Her appliances would go on the fritz. My girlfriend would have bad things, weird things happen to her. And again, I was to the point now where I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was dark. I literally shut myself off, and I could just feel like, if you ever had a wet blanket thrown over you,
Yeah, uh-huh.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what it felt like. The darkness was just enveloping me to that point, and I was like, we got to do something here. So we were lucky enough to close the portal, but whatever came through that day, that was nasty.
Yeah. Um, I I don't know if I've ever had a negative attachment per se, but I do know that, I have had attachments and it does change my attitude and my personality. And people that don't see me all the time would say stuff to my mom like, "Whoa, what's different with Allison? She is not the same person." Mom's like, "Yep, nope, she's not. Just let it ride. Don't it'll pass." But she kind of knows when I have some kind of attachment or anything like that. So yeah. Now, have you ever investigated a residence that you lived in?
Yeah, actually, a couple of them. I was able to do that, and I caught my first EVP in the childhood home I grew up in Falls Church, which was really neat and scary at the same time. And again, this is back in the 90s when, again, this was still, you really couldn't come out and say, "Oh, my house is haunted," because people will still think you're crazy. I mean,
Right.
you still have that level today, but not as much. It's a little more mainstream. But back then, you couldn't really come out and say these things because, again, you were labeled a nut and this and that and
Right.
and everything. But it was actually kind of neat. The house that I grew up in had a lot of negativity attached to it just because of the people that came through. I refer to it as a very sad house because it really did have it was just a very sad house. And this one day, I had actually been reading a book about EVP captures and everything, and I was like, "Oh, hey, cool! I'm going to go ahead and try this."
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I was in my bedroom, and everybody was gone, and I decided, okay, well, I'll just pop a tape in, and go ahead and record and ask them, hey, if there's anything here, show me. And I went out and let the tape run for I think it was a 60-minute tape, so I let it run for the hour and came back and played it through. And right at the end, there was like some like I had one of those big detachable speaker boom boxes.
Yeah.
I used the double dub cassettes, and it sounded like somebody was drumming on top of it. And I was like, "What the heck is this?" And then right at the very end, this voice came through and said, "I've shown you, ha ha," and it was like really slow motion if you slow down somebody's voice, and it was really creepy and scary. And I literally like ran out of the house because I don't know what this thing was or whatever, but it really scared the hell out of me. But that was my first EVP capture.
Wow, that's awesome. And to do it on, cassette. I actually have, my mom gave me my old stereo that has this separate speakers and it's got the dual cassette. I just have to rewire the speakers, and I'm hoping that maybe sometime we could take it on an investigation and try it out and see what happens.
Oh, that'd be cool. You're going to get something, I can tell. I have the feeling. I have a feeling you're going to get something.
Oh, I hope so. And when you talk about getting a voice in slow-mo, Kim, we actually had that happen, I think it was maybe 2 years ago at Edinburgh Manor. And the weird thing is there was like 5 of us there. And only 3 out of the 5 of us caught it on our recorder. I caught it on my recorder and my camcorder. We were down by the boiler room. And we were standing on the stairs. And we heard it with our ears say, "Come here," or something like that. And we're like, what if we don't want to come down there? Like one of the gals say that as we're backing away from that spot. And on there in slow-mo, I don't know if it's a child or what, but it's loud. We just can't understand exactly what it's saying. We can't tell if it's saying something about a black hole or do you want to crack corn? Because it's so slow-mo that it's hard to understand, but it's loud, and we're like, what the hell is that? I've never caught an EVP that was like that in slow-mo like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it like I said, with that being my first one, I didn't know what it was, so it really scared me
Oh yeah.
more because again, it was there was nobody in the house, so you couldn't turn the tape down. There was no way to do that, and you couldn't do that on those tapes anyway because of the way the cassettes were set up. You could do it with a handheld, but you couldn't do it with those kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just like somebody slowed it as slow as you could go, and I have shown you, haha. And that was my first EVP capture.
Wow, that's insane. Have you gotten any more since then?
I've had a few, but honestly, some of them were inconclusive. And the reason I say that is because I look back and I can debunk. Like I do a lot of cemetery work.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah, and there's like it's the one that I go to that's close to my house that I've really gotten some good stuff. Is close to the road, so some of it is definitely like cars. But I've gotten some interesting things. When I was in a house in Pennsylvania, I recorded. It was an old mining house built for the miners, and I let it run down in the basement. These houses were probably, I don't know, they were probably 20s or 30s,
right?
But I had when I ran it, it was like in the morning, so everybody was at work. There was nobody home, but I clearly distinctly heard the cracking of wood, like somebody was busting up wood.
Weird.
And I was like, there's no one here but me and the cat, and the cat's not down there doing this.
Right.
And then I thought, okay, maybe it was somebody next door because they were like fairly close. But yeah, that I don't know what that was, but I played it for my girlfriend, and she was just like, where did you get this? I said, down in our basement. And she's like, oh, okay. And we didn't even have any wood down there, so I don't even know what that was, but
oh my gosh,
it was kind of weird.
Maybe it was some kind of residual thing that maybe they used to do something down there with wood or something back in the day, and maybe you're getting something from that. I don't know. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, have you ever worked somewhere that you believed was haunted?
Yes. As a matter of fact, before I moved down here to the Eastern Shore of Maryland, I was working for Fairfax County, Virginia, a residential substance abuse residential building, and we housed 55 recovery people. And I caught a lot of, and I worked the night shift, so I got a lot of good stuff.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And what was cool about that place is that I actually had a lot of coworkers had stuff happen to them, so I was getting, verified because I'd say, hey, I heard this, and I'd have somebody say, did you hear this? Or I heard this over here, I saw this, and my supervisor, my immediate supervisor, worked with me one night, and for some reason it just kind of went crazy.
Oh, wow.
And all sorts of stuff happened, and she's like, Kevin, I'm never working overnight again, and she never did. She was so scared that she never worked an overnight the year and a half I was left there before I moved.
Oh wow, that's pretty intense then. Oh my gosh. I can't say that I have worked in a place that's haunted. Kim does. Kim works in a redemption center, and there are definitely a couple of them. One of them I've seen, a younger woman in her 20s. But yeah, I think that would be, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of interesting to work in a haunted place. But then again, I don't know. Especially in the dental field, I don't need like dental tools and stuff like that going haywire on us, like drills and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that might be a bit much.
Yeah. But it'd still be fun. I could bring my paranormal stuff and do some sessions before.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that would really be cool. The place I work at currently is a really big building, and my supervisor, I see, and the thing is that it's not that I'm ashamed. I love the fact that I've written a book.
Right.
But I try not to, because I don't know how people react sometimes. So I kind of keep it under wraps a little bit.
Yeah.
So I never told anybody at work until maybe a month and a half. And I've been there almost a year now. And my supervisor was like, "Oh my God, that is so cool!" And she ordered it, which was really cool. And I had some coworkers do that. But she said, "Have you seen or heard anything here?" And I said, "I really have not, because I'm never in the building alone." But I told her there's overwhelming feelings in certain spots in this building that I can you just know something's there. It's just the energy is just so overwhelming in certain spots. I'll get headaches and such, but I haven't seen or heard anything. But I guarantee you, if they let me go to do a investigation, I know I'd capture stuff. But the executive director is a very stern former principal.
Oh,
and I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even bother asking him, because he'd be like, no. But yeah, I get feelings though, definitely. And she said the same thing. She's like, yeah, I get feelings in certain places too. And most of the people that work there are female.
Oh, okay.
There's there's not a lot of males that work in that day program. So I think there's a lot of energy. There's just a lot of energy in that building.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. I can see though. I mean, your place, bigger buildings like that, stuff that you've got going on, people can probably bring stuff in with them as well. But then for you, you said that you kind of keep it under wraps, as to you have written a book about, paranormal and your experiences and things like that. At this job too, I've kept it under wraps, but they kind of figured it out and put two together. It's like, okay, but it is what it is. Because you never know. I mean, it's becoming one of those things where people are more susceptible of it, like they accept it. But then you have those other ones that are just like, oh, what? She's freaking batshit crazy, And I'm
exactly.
Like,
yep. Absolutely.
I'm kind of getting to that point in my life where I just don't care.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm pretty much there too.
Yeah.
It's just like, to do some of the things that I've done in my life, I already know I'm crazy. I'm okay with that.
That's okay. Yeah, me too.
I hung out in cemeteries. I'm all right.
Yep, that's all right. Yep. Now, do you think, you have had, like I said, you've had all these experiences growing up and things. Now, do you believe that a lot of these experiences that you're having are with intelligent spirits or residual?
I think a little bit of both. Honestly, it kind of depends on really what the situation is, because I've had a lot of contact with residual, and I've actually had a lot of contact with intelligent that have actually interacted with me. Which is kind of neat, or I've actually seen them and, whatever. So I've had a little bit of both. It just kind of depends, like, where I've been and what exactly I'm doing, as far as, buildings or whatever, the land I'm in. But yeah, I've had a little bit of both. Not really one more than the other, I don't think.
Okay. Now, do you believe that these places are haunted before you get there, or do you think that some of these spirits are following you from place to place?
Now, see, that's a really good question, because what I try to do, like when I pass a cemetery, I say, you cannot follow me. I mean, I pass the cemetery every day I go to work. And I do that. And I've been in the car with my girlfriend, and she's like, why do you do that? I said, well, do you want me to give you something? She's like, no, I've already had that experience. And, I don't want any of your people. You can keep them and take them home with you. I said, that's exactly why I do this. So I think they've learned at this point in time, if you're respectful to them, and I try to be, that they won't follow me. They're already there, but I'm kind of like, they're kind of like, the dog with the squirrel. The dog would be doing something, and a squirrel, and they're like, oh, squirrel, and they're running. So when I hit wherever I'm at, they're like, oh, human can see and hear me.
Yeah.
and then they go. So yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know. I think I put in my book is like, I feel like I'm at the vacancy in the motel, the little neon
Yeah.
sign,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, I can see spirits, come here.
Mm-hmm.
So they see that and they're like, oh, he's a beacon, so we'll go over there and mess with him because he can
Mm-hmm.
see and hear us. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you classify yourself as anything like a sensitive or medium or clairaudience, clairvoyance, whatever?
I
Any of those?
I'm I think in some regard, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I may have a little bit of all of that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm definitely, I know I am a empath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I definitely know that,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when I have really hard days at work
Mm-hmm.
because I'm picking up everybody's emotions,
I second
people
that.
don't, people don't quite understand when I'm dragging. There's a reason for that, not because I get up at 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it, but when everyone's hitting me at the same time and my
Mm-hmm.
wall's not working,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. It's really hard to explain to people. I'm getting their emotions, and again, and it's nothing against. I love women,
Mm-hmm.
but they have such strong emotions
Oh yeah.
that, coupled with the developmentally disabled, who when they get angry, look out.
Oh yeah, I
So
bet.
their emotions. So I'm getting hit from all sides. So
Yeah.
it's really, I've come home and literally just felt so drained
Mm-hmm.
that I don't even know how I made it home because
Mm-hmm.
they just took all my energy.
Mm-hmm. I concur with that a lot. But you talk about, your wall not working and things. Do you practice that? Like trying to put up a wall, a barrier, anything? Do you?
Yes, I do try to do that to
Mm-hmm.
put that wall up so it won't come in. But on the times that I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I forget, and that's when it hits me, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh crap, I forgot to do that, and now I'm paying for it because I've got a huge headache, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like somebody just sucked the life out of me.
Mm-hmm. I am very terrible about doing that. So like I it's something I work on, but I forget a lot of times and then all hell breaks loose. Especially on an investigation.
Oh yeah, oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. But like what do you do to prepare yourself? How do you prepare putting up a wall? Like what do you envision?
I kind of like meditate
Mm-hmm.
and then envision the wall. I just, it's not a brick wall. It's just a big
Mm-hmm.
gray. I guess a slab of concrete is how I best describe it. It's really nondescript. It's just a big
Mm-hmm.
piece of gray, whatever. But I'll imagine that, and then I'll try to imagine the white light around me
Mm-hmm.
as more protection.
Mm-hmm.
And that usually, like I said, that usually helps a lot. But like you said, the times that I forget to do that, that's when they say, "Oh, I'm in here,"
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm just a mess.
Oh.
And
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand it, and I have to make stuff up because I'm just like, oh, I just really tired today. Had a dude got
Uh-huh.
up early, and cause I can't explain it to them because they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to walk over here and keep
Mm.
an eye, and it's just and I don't have the energy to explain it to them
Right.
after all that,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, I try to envision that wall or
Mm-hmm.
that in the white light, and that usually helps.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever have to go outside and like ground yourself?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's something that I've actually learned to do
Mm-hmm.
much more recently
Mm-hmm.
than before. And I actually had another friend of mine who's a clairaudient
Mm-hmm.
teach me techniques on how to ground yourself
Oh.
because I
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
really wasn't into that. But and again, one of the things that I did and what really always grounded me was nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've gotten away from doing that because again, with my line of work and everything, and that's an excuse, and I know that, and I hate that. But I got away from getting out in the woods and just hiking or just enjoying
Mm-hmm.
nature. That always grounds me.
Mm-hmm. I need to do that too more often. Another thing I'm terrible at and people scold me for on locations. Now, with you having these abilities, do you ever find yourself channeling?
No,
Wow.
no, I've never done that. And I think the reason I haven't is because of that experience that I had with the negative attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was basically a channeling session, and that was with 5 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, and again, as you well know, and a lot of people, and I've got a brother of mine that does not believe in any of this,
Mm-hmm.
and we will go back and forth because we talk about how bad the world is today, but he doesn't accept that there's real evil out there.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He says that, oh, I can see that and this and that, and we'll talk about certain things going on, but he doesn't understand that things can come through the portals and this and that. I bring that up and he just makes fun of it, or he just tells me I'm nuts and this and that. But yeah, and it's just so again, I think until I could maybe learn some techniques that I wouldn't get something in there, I probably wouldn't. But honestly, I probably channel without even knowing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. I just have to say that all of a sudden, like, I'm like extremely cold and have goosebumps.
Well, when you moved, I saw a baby behind you, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Oh, it's my doll.
Like, okay. I was like, "Oh my god!" I said, "She got a baby ghost behind her." Oh crap!
Oh my gosh, I would probably crap myself if that happened. No, they're just,
I got
goosebumps
when I looked at that, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, that's a doll." Okay. Whew.
Yeah, no, I inherited those from my grandpa's house. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. One of them's actually this one here. Oops, I knocked one of them over. This one is actually from Kim's house. It was her mom's.
Oh wow!
She let my girls each pick out a doll from her house because she has over 202 of these things in that house.
Oh my goodness!
And anyways, my oldest one is terrified of dolls, but yet she picked this doll out, and now I have to keep it in here because she wanted something to remember her by,
wow.
but she can't be around it because she's terrified of dolls. So it stays in here.
Yeah, I tell people, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but there was a great movie back in the 70s called Trilogy of Terror.
I have not seen it. I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
Oh, you've got to see it because the last movie, I'm not going to give it away. No spoiler alerts here because everyone's got to get scared.
Yeah.
But this woman gets a doll from Africa from her mother, and the necklace falls off of it, and it comes to life, and it's possessed by a demon. So here's a doll in an apartment with a woman, and it's alive, and it's I saw that as a kid, and it still scares the hell out of me today. But yeah, so they did a remake in the 2000s from it, but it's not as good as the original. The original's cheesy 70s cinematography. I mean, come on.
Right? Yeah. I started watching some of those older ones recently because, like, just a couple of years ago, I finally watched the original Exorcist. I was like, some of those I have never seen. Like, I haven't seen Psycho. I do have it. I do have a bunch of Alfred Hitchcock ones saved to watch, but I just remember the infamous scene from that, but I have not watched. I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to get with it.
Yeah, I just actually watched The Birds last week.
The Burbs? Did you say The Bird?
The Birds.
Oh,
yeah,
The Birds.
I watched that last week.
Yeah,
Hitchcock.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I did watch that one.
The Birds.
I thought you said The Burbs with Tom Hanks at first. I was like, what? Wait, you just watched that? That's a good movie too. Getting off topic, but dolls and creepy, and then getting the chills was kind of brought it all together.
Horror movies, hey, they all tie in.
They all tie in.
Absolutely.
They all tie in. Now, are you working on anything new right now, or what's any new books?
Yes, I am actually. So I don't think I told this story last time I was on your show, or actually any of the times I've been on your show. Before my book came out in 2019, I had the Widowmaker heart attack.
Okay.
And obviously I didn't die,
Right. Yeah.
but I did. As I was getting worked on,
Mm-hmm.
this feeling came over me of just ultimate peace and
Mm-hmm.
quiet. And I said to myself, if I have to go, I'm okay with it. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So luckily, for whatever reason, I'm still here. So I had a friend of mine said, Kevin, you had an NDE, a near death experience. I said, no. I said, but that feeling was just calm and peaceful. She said, you had one. And I started thinking
Wow.
about that. So I started doing research, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, all these people, I came across all these people who would have had the same near death experiences or different ones. So that always fascinated me. So I'm putting the finishing touches on a compilation book about near death experiences.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So what I'd like to do, if possible,
Mm-hmm.
is I want to ask your audience, because
Oh,
again,
yeah,
I'm
sure.
always looking for good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they have any, send them my way. They don't have to put their name in. It can be anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
but I could always use more stories. So
Uh,
if any of your audience has them out there, they can send them my way if they'd like.
oh, yeah, absolutely. So, listeners, if you have any near-death experiences or stories that you'd like to share about that, contact Kevin. I do have somebody you could possibly reach out to. He's been a guest on our show. He is from the UK, but David Ditchfield. He has a very interesting near-death experience story. It's truly, I don't know how,
Okay.
I don't even know how he's still alive.
Oh,
Honestly.
wow. Oh, I want to talk to him.
You have to. He
Is
is.
that ditches in like, is
Di-
that like ditches and ditch, like
Yeah,
side
and
of
then
the road
field.
ditch?
Yep, and then field. He's on Instagram.
Ditchfield.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He's on Instagram.
Ditchfield.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's one that I've had on here that's had a really good story. I've had other people on talking about near-death experiences, but it's more like they're studying it, per se. And so
Right.
there's a website. I'll have to look it up and send it to you. There's a website that one of my other listeners told me about where he found a lot of interesting stories. So there might be, like, I don't know if there's like an area where they maybe all concur together and like talk about it or what, or if there's a way that you could find out who wrote some of them and like you could reach out to some of those people to share their stories with you, because it's like a website
awesome.
that they share their near-death experiences or something on. So I'll have to look it up. I have it written somewhere, but that might help you out also. But
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, like I said, I'm putting the finishing touches with that. I've been working on this for about a year and a half now, almost 2 years. So,
wow.
but like I said, I could always use more stories. So I like to reach out to the audience out there, because I know those are the ones that always have good stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I can always use good stuff, more good stuff. And a lot of these that I've gotten so far are just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have?
But like I said, I'm still fascinated by it.
Oh yeah. Do you have? I can't remember. Do you have a website, or where do you want them to contact you?
Oh, they can send it to my email.
Okay.
The Killen, yeah, they could send that to the email. That'd be great.
Okay. I'm gonna put it in our chat. So anybody who's listening and, like I said, has a near-death experience and you want to share it with Kevin, check out our chat. I'm going to put his email in there, but we'll also share it on our social media as well. I'll have it on Instagram and Twitter. I don't have Facebook, so if I can find my email, I don't know where it went. This is ridiculous, okay? So I have over 103 tabs opened on my phone.
Oh, wow. How'd you do that?
I don't know. I think it's just because I hoard pages. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to lose something or forget something, so I just keep all the tabs open, I guess.
Well, I've got a coworker who does that. They've got like 5 million tabs on their computer open up at any time.
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
how do you ever find anything? Or you can't do any work here because you slowed your computer down.
Oh,
Get rid of some of those things. She's like, no, 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 no. I'm afraid I'm going to do this, and I need this, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy because the IT guy's always yelling at her.
Oh,
because because she's just messing up her computer because it's all slow and everything, and yeah, so I understand that.
I know, but I don't have that problem with my computer. The only time I'm ever on this is if I'm doing a show. I don't use it for anything else, but it's just my phone has everything open. And I'm scrolling through looking for stuff all the time. All right, so I did share that information in the chat. Now,
awesome, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anybody in chat have any questions? Let me know. Feel free to put them in the chat, and I will ask Kevin. Now, have you had any recent experiences? Like,
that's one thing I wanted to bring up. So a lot of my recent experiences have to do with what I consider transcendence. Mm-hmm. And the reason I call it transcendence is because I've kind of moved, I don't want to say I've moved away, but there's a lot less of the, hey, I'm here, I'm going to, footsteps in the hallway or door slamming or whatever. Mm-hmm. I still get those. As a matter of fact, I just had one yesterday, right when I woke up to go to work. There was something in the kitchen here, and I don't have pets. So there was that. But what I've been having a lot of is I see triple numbers. I've seen quadruple numbers. Mm-hmm. And I'll do that I'll think of somebody I haven't thought of in a while, and they'll call or text me or something. Or I'll think of an obscure band I haven't heard from in years, and I'll play a song on the radio. Oh,
wow.
Or just I'll think of somebody and somebody, like, something will happen, and I'll be like, my ear will start itching. Oh, and then I'm like, somebody's talking about me, because that's how it is. And then I'll get a text or a call from somebody, and it's like, that was you. So wow. I get a lot of that. And I also get the premonitory. I'm getting a lot of premonitions lately, and I usually never do that, but I've gotten a lot of premonitions, and that's really kind of freaked me out, because that was never me. Yeah. But I've gotten premonitions that, I don't know if they've come. Actually, a couple of them from work came true.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I've been getting a lot of that. And I've actually had something happen, and they were like, didn't you mention that last week? And I was like, yeah, I did. Oh, wow. How'd you know? I said, I can't tell you.
Oh, wow.
So I have a lot of that going on. But it's like, and that's why I say I kind of transcended. Mm-hmm. Because I get a lot more of that than I do. And it's almost as if they're like, okay, yeah, we know you can see us, you can hear us,
right,
we're kind of bored with you, whatever. But I still get things. I've been seeing a lot of animals lately. Like I'll think of a deer, and there'll be a deer in the road.
Oh wow, crazy!
I'll sense the deer, and I've done that a lot. I forgot what my spirit animal is, but I kind of live in a really wooded area, and there's a really nice pond and everything. So there's a lot of animals around here that kind of flock over. And I've noticed, like, the neighbors will kind of look at me like, why does he have all these birds in his yard, or whatever? Because they I guess they kind of notice that the animals I think are a little attracted to me. So
oh my gosh,
there's that. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, I mean, I still will. Like I said the other day, my father, and that was one of the things I was going to tell you. One reason I haven't been on much or been around much is my father passed last year.
Oh, okay.
So I've had a lot. I've had 3 people pass, and I just had a lot of life stuff. I got COVID twice.
Oh man! Wow! Oh my gosh!
So, and I moved here from Virginia, so there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring up my father is that my father, I think, was with me for a month, and then he passed on. He moved on to wherever they go, but I think he was with me for about a month. My mother was with me for a while when she passed.
Oh wow!
One of my brothers who passed about 4 years ago, he just went across. There was nothing, and I had other people tell me, I think he's gone. I said, I know he is, because there was one little incident, and then he was gone. I knew it was him, and I said, that's him, and that was it. And he just went. But
Wow.
and I kind of looked at that like thinking, okay, with all my abilities and
Uh-huh.
everything, why wouldn't they stay around and talk to me or whatever? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
You must have just been ready to go. Peace
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Didn't want to stick around here anymore.
exactly.
Now, do you ever have um, somebody who has passed come to you in dreams? Like they have a message or something for you and they come to you in a
I've
dream state?
yeah, I've dreamt. The one thing with me is that my dreams never make any sense.
Yeah. Mine don't either.
I've had so many weird dreams that just I and the one thing that I've had lately
Mm-hmm.
is it's almost as if either it's like it's happened and
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know who these people are. It's like
Yeah.
and I've had some that I swear to God were like was like a TV show.
Oh,
Like I
weird.
was in a TV show
Uh-huh.
and I knew I was in a TV show, but I was just kind of watching, not participating.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are crazy. But the reason I bring that up is because I've had dreams of people that I've known that have passed
Uh-huh.
with no message, but I just dreamed they just did stupid stuff. And I was like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why are they in there eating a pizza, plunging out the toilet or something, you know? And it's like, yeah,
Gosh.
so there's no message here. It's just, oh, wow, I dreamed of so and so's mom who passed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of they never have any messages. They just kind of show up.
Yeah. Mine too. They don't. I don't know. I've had some weird ones too. And like you said, you have some dreams and you don't even know who the people are. And it's like a lot of my dreams, I don't know who any of these people are in my dreams. Are they people that
Yep.
I'm gonna cross paths with at some point,
Yep.
or what? It's bizarre.
Exactly. Yeah, because I just because I've researched dream interpretation
Mm-hmm.
and talked to some people who have actually done that, and
Mm-hmm.
they've told me that it's um, usually dreams are part of things that have already happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know these people, so if it happened, where was I? Because I
Yeah.
have no idea who these people were.
Yeah. That's another topic that I would like to have to do on the show is somebody who can interpret dreams because
Yes, yes, that's fascinating stuff.
yeah, it is because it's like what in the hell.
That'd be
It's
a good
like
show.
what did I but sometimes I think that TV can also hinder what we dream about because I was watching Maximum Overdrive one night instead of these crazy trucks, killing people. I dreamt that I was somehow controlling these people to kill people, and I didn't know I was doing
Oh,
it. And then I don't remember who it was, like had this like thing encased in a crystal or whatever, and I came to it and I shattered it, and then they got all mad because it shattered, and they're like, now you have to hold it and you have to say that you're not gonna kill people anymore for it to stop. And I was like, what? So I did it, and then that was my dream, and I'm like, what just went on here? So sometimes I think what you watch on TV can kind of.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's something that goes into the cognitive ability
Mm-hmm.
because I usually and what I do and I don't know if this is influencing me or not
Mm-hmm.
is I fall asleep to audiobooks.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what this is that but I never dream about what's in these books, but it's just like we're like you said, I'll dream about people I don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I distinctly knew that I was a ghost. Like in this
Oh,
dream, I
wow.
was a spirit and they couldn't see me. And I kept like trying to talk to them and they're like, wait a minute, I am, but I had like the wherewithal to know that I was a ghost in this dream. It was really weird. And these people, I had no idea who they were. I didn't know any of them.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, like I said, probably about 95% of my dreams are people I don't even know, or I don't have any recollection of ever seeing them in public or
Yep.
anything. It's bizarre. Not on TV, nothing. It's like, I don't know where they came from. I did have a dream about aliens coming to try. They were coming after my daughters.
Oh.
We were at a party somewhere and they were out running, and I was like, where did they go? And there was these weird, like, spacecrafts coming down, and then one of them stopped and they said they were looking for my children. I don't know. It was so weird. So I spent my dream trying to tell them that they needed to get to a safe place because the aliens were going to take them.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. So weird. I don't know. Anywho, once again, okay, so before we start to wrap things up, you still have your book for sale. Is it still on Amazon?
Yes.
And probably any
Amazon,
bookstore that you can. Barnes and Noble, probably.
Yeah, pretty much any .com, and I think most of them still have them on the shelf. So you can go to a brick and mortar, and you can order them from Ozark Mountain's website, the publisher.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I couldn't remember It's been a while since I've read it, so it's like I couldn't remember who the publisher was. But yes, that
Ozark. Yep, Ozark Mountain.
Now, if anybody has any questions or anything like that, do you want them to email you, or do you have social media that they could get in touch with you with?
Yeah, they can just email me, and like I said, they it doesn't even have to be ghost related. They can just email me about anything. I just like to talk, so if they just want to talk about, Uncle Bob's cigar habit or whatever. That's fine too. Yeah, anything. I just like to talk, and I've done a lot of things. So, drop me a line and just say, hey, and we'll chat about whatever. It doesn't have to be about ghosts or anything.
Mm-hmm. Do you have kind of a rough date as to when your new book might be out?
Right now, it's probably going to be in next year, just because once I get it to the publisher, it usually takes close to another year for it to come out, so it's probably going to be 2025.
Okay, perfect. So we'll have
and I can update.
That.
I can send it to you when I have a firm date on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That way we can share it and let all of our listeners know when that book will be out. And like I said, once again, if any of our listeners have a near-death experience that they would like to share with Kevin, I did put his email in the chat, so you can check it out in the chat, or you can contact Kim or myself on our Instagram or Twitter pages, or she has Facebook, and we can get you the information as well. Next week will be a pre-recorded, but it's going to be a really good show, and it's just in time for Valentine's Day, everybody. Janine Lowe will be on. She is does a lot of stuff with Chinese astrology and feng shui, so she's going to be talking about her new book, Date, Love, Marry, Avoid. It's a very interesting, fun book. Kind of tells you like who you should steer clear of and who you should be with in relationships, or also helps you with wealth, how to come into some wealth. So check that out next week. And once again, thank you, Kevin, for being on again. It's always a pleasure talking to you and catching up with you. And I'd like to thank everybody who was in chat tonight. Thank you for everybody who was not in chat but listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. And like I said, make sure to tune in next week. Until next time, peace out.